Izzy, it's wonderful to be talking to you today. How are you doing now that you've had? I mean, you were quite emotional last night. How are you doing this morning?
It is what it is. I know this is part of the game, and I know the mistakes that I made that brought me here.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm devastated. I
yeah.
wish I was still in the house, but I'm okay.
Now, some fans may be a little confused, so maybe you can clarify this a little bit for us.
Sure.
How did you know that Jared was Cerise's son?
I got into Big Brother because I fell in love with Survivor and
Right.
because I fell in love with Cerise, honestly. And listen, we're not. Social media is a thing, and I follow Cerise on social. But frankly, I know who Jared is because I saw something she posted
Right.
about her makes music. I'm a musician. I was super curious about
All
it,
right.
and so literally, he is the only family member of like a Survivor or Big Brother person that I know.
Yeah.
Literally, he
Yeah.
is the only one. So it was luck. Cerise says it's fate. I told she knows why I know who Jared is, and she's convinced we were all meant to be on Big Brother together or something.
Now,
But
no,
yeah, that's
how we saw a bit here and there about how hard it is for Jared to keep the secret. How hard was it for you to keep that secret all to yourself?
I'm frustrated by Jared because it wasn't hard for me at all.
Right.
It truly felt like my secret, my thing that could blow up my game as well. Especially at this point, this many weeks in, and yeah, it wasn't hard for me at all. I was very proud
Yeah.
to have the secret.
Now we saw last night when in Cerie's goodbye message, she reached out to you and she said, I consider you an honorary member of our family, and that touched you very deeply. You could see it visibly touched you. What do you think about that, and how do you feel about that?
I think it. Look, the Big Brother house is a scary, lonely place,
Right.
and frankly, without her, we talked about this. I'm sure some live feeders heard this,
Yeah.
but we talked about how difficult it would have been for either one of us if the other one wasn't in the house.
Yeah.
I Yeah, she was really the only person that I connected with deeply and felt safe with and felt like I was at home with.
Yeah.
And we're all missing home. So without that, I think it would have been a rougher go for me.
Now, speaking of family, I mean, you mentioned Paige numerous times in your shout outs, numerous times
Yeah.
on the feeds. How hard was it to be? I mean, I can imagine myself. How hard was it for you to be there without your support system and the person that obviously you trust more than anybody in this world?
Yeah, I underestimated how difficult it was going to be.
Right.
I knew. Our goodbye when I was coming here was intense and sad, and yeah, I missed her every second. Also, but that's why I appreciated my relationship with Cerise so much because it felt like I was with Paige in
Right.
some way because I
Right.
felt so at home with her. And frankly, the way that me and Cerise played the game is the way that me and Paige play the game at home. We're constantly running scenarios and talking about what people should do and how they should do it and what I would
Right.
do. And yeah, yeah. So
Now, there's some people have been watching it at various, various moves and various things like that. That they seemed here and there to think that you were putting Cerie's game before your own game. Did you feel like that sometimes, or was there something that we didn't understand that was going on, like behind the scenes or what have you?
I just truly believe that, like, yes, it's an individual game, but,
Right.
like, if you don't have people, how are you going to get to the end? Like,
Right.
Cameron is on an island right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Cameron is all by himself, and, like, even if he makes up with some people, he's still going to be an easy target. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to win literally every comp he's eligible for to get to the end at this point. That wasn't my case. I knew I wasn't going to be a comp beast. And so
Right.
if you're not going to win comps, how do you have power? You have power if you align with people that you know are going to protect you and that you are going to protect. And so it has to be mutual.
Right.
And so I wanted her to know that I was going to protect her as much as she was protecting me. And that was important to my individual game.
Now, if you made it near the end, let's say with Cerie, was there? Did you debate revealing the secret, using it to your advantage? Let us in on a little bit of that because, again, you didn't say much of that. You were keeping your cards close to your chest as far as that was concerned. So let us in on what some of the thought process
Yeah.
you were going through because, again, you have this great secret that could really change the trajectory of your game, but also you have this very personal relationship with Cerise, right?
Of course, I mean, look, I think some of the live feeders probably saw me. I thought about this every single day in the house. It was absolutely an emotional burden that I carried with me. That was hard. Luckily, Cerise we talked about it. I mean, I told her, she was like, I know, I want, you want to win. I want you to win. I think that we had some conversations that whether the live feeders caught it, I won't get into, but we had a plan, got to 3, and I'm almost 100% certain she would have thrown HOH, and I think me and Jared would have been sitting in those final 2 chairs, and what a great final jury speech to reveal that I knew this the whole time, and that's why we were solid till the end,
Was it hard to work with Cerise knowing that she also had Jared there working with her? How did you balance that kind of dynamic? Because that must have been difficult, because obviously she's going to choose her son over anybody, as any mother would.
Of course. I mean, I was not naive to any of that at all, and I thought about it a ton. But frankly, when it came to the game, me and Cerise aligned way more than me and Jared, or even Cerise and Jared. I knew that even in conversations where I felt like, of course, she was not on Jared's side, but really like take Jared's thoughts to heart. He would leave and we would be like, okay, but what are we really going to do? Like, okay, that's what he thinks, but what are we really going to do? And so I knew she respected and loved me enough to also, I think we were ultimately in charge.
Yeah. Now, just a couple more questions for you. I mean, you had a really heart-to-heart conversation with Cerise saying that going on Big Brother was a big thing for you because, you've thought about attempting some exciting things in the past, but you always held yourself back. How do you feel now? Because you were put through the ringer, not only physically, but psychologically in Big Brother. How has that built you up? Because we saw you from your journey from the beginning till last night and how you actually changed and progressed. So how do you feel now about your whole experience, and how do you feel as a person?
I mean, I want to get back in the house. Like, I want to again, I want to play Survivor. I love these games. Yeah. I felt truly, once I was in there, like, crap, I was right. I was meant to do this. Yeah. I felt like I was meant to do this. I was saying this before, but, like, this is my NBA Finals, like, this is my sports, I'm a huge sports fan, but, like, this is where I'm an athlete. I loved it, and I do feel more confident now. Yeah. I do feel like I can do things now, and I'm very thankful for that, and I owe a lot of that to Cerise.
Now, before we go, I'm going to give you one little get back here. Who do you hope follows you out of the house and why?
Come on, the pig! I hope Cameron comes out the door. Let's go. I mean, I think Cameron, if he wins next HOH, if they don't get him out, aren't able to, and he wins next HOH, Jared and Cerise are going on the block for sure. And so that would be awful. And Cameron's got to go.
Well, Izzy, it was really wonderful watching you play this game. It's great to watch aggressive, dedicated, and players who put themselves out there. I have a sneaky feeling maybe your Big Brother journey isn't over quite yet.
Yeah, let's keep putting that into action. Me too, John.
But have a great day, and again, it was wonderful watching you, and take care.
Thank you so much.
Take care, Izzy.